Hey everybody, welcome to the Black Sheep Props channel. I'm Steve and I'm here to teach you the tips, tools, techniques, and materials for building your very own super cool EVA foam props. Now in our last build we went anime action adventure when we built the big giant rocket hammer from Alita Battle Angel, and it was crazy huge. But if you missed that build, we're going to include the link in the description below to our channel's homepage, so you can go over there and check out Rocket Hammer or any of the other super cool builds we have there. But for this build, we're going to go video game. So without further ado, Black Sheep Props would like to introduce you to the newest member of the family. Dig that, man. It's the Dragonbone Axe from Skyrim. Look at that crazy thing. Holy smokes. Banged up, hammered steel handle and ring at the back. We've got the old gray, kind of petrified looking wood for the handle. We've got the bone for the axe, and it's all stained up with multiple different colors in the staining because that's what the photograph we have looks like. And then we've got the kind of dirty metal bracket up there at the top. Super jamming, and this thing is not hard at all. Like all of our builds, it's not hard. Just take your time, be careful, line stuff up, and you'll nail it. So in this episode, making an EVA foam Dragonbone Axe, actually Dragonbone War Axe, we're going to go step by step through how to make it. And if you want to build along with us, we have a template, so we'll include the link in the description below to our storefront, so you can go snag a template if you want, or don't, just chill out. Wow, I love this thing. All right, that's it, man. Enough of me flapping my gums. If you're ready to hit it, let's make something. Okay, here's where we start our Dragonbone Axe. We're going to start our handle. We're going to use 2 pieces of 18mm foam. Okay, we're going to start with this piece. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be coming in and we're going to be putting a support inside here. And we're going to use this brass rod. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to bend this brass rod to fit inside of our handle. Bend it a little bit this way. All right. There. Just like. Alright, we'll go over to the bandsaw and we'll knock this out just to the outside of our line. Okay, there we go. Look at that. That's pretty nice. Alright, now we're going to be coming in and we're going to be sticking this right down over the top. Let's see, we got to figure out how we're going to do this. The back side of our brass dowel. Alright, there we go. Now you know the drill with contact cement. Coat both sides, wait till they both dry, and then they can make contact. Flip this around. 1.5 inches thick. Alright, now we're going to bring our template back in. Now we can go over to the bandsaw again and we can cut these out. We want to taper this handle just a little bit at the bottom. Alright, there we go. Now we're going to go over to the bandsaw and we're going to taper this. Now again, we're safely away from hitting our dowel because it's right in the middle. Alright, there we go. There was our side cut, and then we rolled it, and notice how from here back it tapers. Alright, wow. That's it. Alright, now we don't want to round it up here at the front, okay, because the blades are going to be attaching on here, so we want a nice flat side. So we're going to start to round it right where these lines are, okay, from here down. Alright, we're going to come in with our super rough bit, alright, to start chewing off this corner. Okay, so we started to knock off the corners, okay? Now what we want to do is we want to try to sort of round this off, okay? So we want to round the edge over toward the middle, but we don't want to go all the way to the middle. All right, look at that. That's beautiful, and that is super stiff. Man, look at this. Black snow everywhere. This is a disaster. That's why you wear a dust mask. Our 80 grit sanding stick. Oh, nice. Wow. Now we're going to come in with our 220 sanding stick and smooth it out a little bit more. Oh yeah, that's nice. Now let's seal it with some heat. It's going to tighten up the foam. And notice how we left the square edges up here because they're going to be attaching stuff to here and here. All right, let's stop, clean up the mess. Okay, now we're going to start our blade, the front and the back. There's the back piece of our blade, 36mm foam, and then here is our blade broken into two pieces, and we'll explain why. Okay. Okay, now the reason that we did that is this, okay? This is going to come together to make our blade, just like that, and it's going to be 1.5 inches thick, but we can't attach that and then send this through the bandsaw. It's too tall, but we can send this through the bandsaw. Okay, so what we're going to do is this. We're going to knock off all of our straight edges first. Okay, here we go. Here's our two pieces. Now we want to taper this, okay? So here's this little tip of our blade right there. So we're going to go from our line to that spot. Just like that. Really, really easy stuff. Okay, we're going to go over to the bandsaw and we're going to knock those out first. All right, here we go. There was our side cut, and then there's our two taper cuts. All right, let's bring our pattern back in since we lost it. And this lined up perfectly. See how we came right off of this little point on the blade? That's right where the taper starts. Okay, now we can go ahead and stick these together. All right, here we go. Now we're going to come in and we're going to line our edge up as close as we can get it. We're going to try to line it up. All right, that's as close as we'll get it. Can't possibly be perfect because you can't see to the other side when we're cutting. But we are actually looking pretty darn close right here, all right? We got as close as we could get to it being flush right here. All right, and the same thing on this side. We got as close as we could get. All right, let's go cut that out. There's the side cut, and check it out. There's the taper. All right, now there's even more we're going to do to this thing, okay? So we're going to draw a center line down here, around here, and on this side. Right there. All right, there's our center line on the side, on the front, and on that side. Okay, now we're going to use the same pattern we used for our blade. We're just going to offset it a little bit. My marker's starting to dry up. Switch out for a new one. Look at that. There we go. All right, we've got the inner line and we've got the side line. Okay, so we're going to be coming in and we're going to be beveling from this center line here to this line, all the way around the whole piece, from this line to this line, and from this line to this line. It's going to give us a nice bevel. And then all right, check that out. Got a nice taper right there from our center line up to our inner edge, okay? Taper. Now we're gonna flip it around and we're gonna go from this line right up to that peak so we get a nice taper. all the way around. On the sides it comes up to a peak, at the front it comes to a peak. That is really nice. And we kept our big flat bottom because it's going to go up against the handle. Now let's come in with our 80 grit. What a sweet blade that is. Good grief. All right, now clean up again. Okay, now the back spike of our blade, we're going to go and do the same thing. We're going to go and knock this out on the bandsaw. All right, there we go. It's a rough cut. Now, all right, there we go. There's our taper. All right, there we go. Check it out. Did the side cut, then we rolled it over. We did our taper cut. All right, there it is. We smoothed it with the smooth bit. All right, there we go. Man, this thing is shaping up quick. All right, now notice back here we have this little angle cut. That's because we have this slight little angle cut right here, so it fits right on there nice like that. We've got our flat front to go with our flat back. All right, here's all of our pieces that are going to go on the side of our axe. All right, most of it is going to be 4mm. Got a little bit of 3 and a little 24mm piece. All right, so this should be really easy stuff. All right, look at that. That easy. Now we're just going to take our time and cut all these pieces out. Okay, now we're going to knock this out on the bandsaw because it's kind of thick, 24mm. We're going to come in with a slightly smaller tube for this little front one. All right, there we go. We've got all of our pieces. We've got all of our little holes popped out. All right, we're going to come in with our smooth bit. We're going to round this edge off. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stick these in here, but we're going to round them off. Okay, here we go. We've got all 3 of our pieces that are going to go together. We've got all of our rivets rounded off. All right, so what we're going to do first is let's go ahead and heat seal these rivets. We're going to line it up with our edge here. And we're all ready to go. Now we're just going to keep doing that to all these other pieces. All right, time to start sticking everything together. Bend it so we're flush on the edge. All right, there we go. Flush on this side and flush on that side. Line this up flush at the top, right there. And we're going to put that down. And this down, and this. Super glue down for our multiple layered little contraption here. We've got the rounded rivets inside too. Right there. And stick it on. All right, nice. Now let's come in with our Dremel bit. Let's get off some of this glue residue right here. All right, now we're going to come in with this 24mm piece we cut. All right, we're going to use a little super glue for this piece. Nice little piece at the top. All right, here comes our two straps that are going to go around our handle, an 8mm and a 10mm. Let's go. Okay, we're wrapping our 8mm piece around so that we can get a test measurement, and I would say we are probably going to be right about there. There we go. We're going to tip it because we like to bevel it when we do a wrap. All right. Stick our piece down. And we're going to match up our edge right there. So we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to cut the long cut and use it as a test wrap. All right, there we go. That is nice. Now we're going to push it down. Okay, here's our 12mm foam dowel. We're going to bend this around and we're going to attach it. There we go. All right, there we go. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then we're going to come in and we're going to attach this on the bottom right here, but we want a flat spot there. So what we're going to do is we're going to slice a tiny little piece of that edge off. All right, there we go. See that? We cut a straight little edge off, so we got a flat spot there. Now we Okay, now we're going to do some little strips on the handle just to give it some dimension. And what we did was, if you notice, our handle tapers. So we roughly measured a width across the top and the slightly smaller width across the bottom. So it's kind of like a little skinny tapered piece. And what we're going to do though is we're going to bevel the edges off so that the edge is kind of tapered. All right, there we go. There's all four with a really nice taper on the end that has it come down to a real skinny edge right there. We did all four. We've got. We're going to get it centered. Okay, we're going to get our edge pinched down because we want it to have that really nice tapered look on the side. Oh, wow, is that nice? All right. Pinch our edge down. Look at that. All right, now let's seal it. Tighten it up. Love it. That feels good too. It thickened up the handle a little bit. Very cool. All right, here we go. Here's a 12mm piece of foam we're going to use for a little bracket right back here. And we used a circle the same size as our foam dowel for right there. All right, we're going to use a brass tube. It's the perfect size we need. We're just going to spin right through. Holy smokes, man, I just sharpened that. That just went through there like a hot knife through butter. Now, we're going to cut this outside shape. Okay, there we go. The whole piece is ready to go. We're going to stick this down on this side. We're going to bring this around and stick it on that side. And all right, check that thing out, man. That looks totally cool. And it hides the little seam that we had on our foam dowel. Okay, now we're going to come in with our Dremel. We've got a little round sanding bit. Got our dust mask on, and we're going to bounce around on the handle, and we're going to bounce around up here because we want to make this look like hammered steel. Okay, so I'll show you how we do that. All right, there we go. Has the hammered steel look. All right, there we go. There's our hammered steel. And that was super easy. You saw all we did was bounce the Dremel around on it. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to come in here to the tip of our blade, and we're going to all right, I think that's all we're going to do. Look at that. That's just enough. All right, there we go. We just added some chips out of our blade, and we kind of just sort of like lightly dented up a little bit of the edge like that. We could come back in from this side. Okay, look at that. We got that nice crease out of that, nice groove out of there. We're going to do a couple of those just to make it look like this thing's got battle damage on the blade. We're cutting a V trench, just like that. Look at that. That is really nice. And you can put as many or as few of those as you want. That's pretty nice. All right, there we go. We just made our handle and these brackets up here look like hammered steel. Then we came in and we chipped out the edges of our blade in some spots, did a couple gouges, roughed up the edge a little bit, and we're not going to go much further than that. That's not bad. All right, so with that last detail, putting those little gashes in the blade, that brings the build portion of our Dragonbone War Axe to a close. All right, here we are at the spray stand. We're going to begin coating our Dragonbone axe with our Plastidip. And you know what we always say, even if you're outside in a well-ventilated area, do not spray without your respirator. There we go, coated with Plastidip. All right, there we go. We're gonna hang it up. The outside's kind of almost already dry. We're just gonna let it dry all the way through all the coats. Okay, now we're gonna start painting. All right, now this bone color is a little bit difficult. Okay, so we're gonna have to mix some colors to get it. All right, so we're gonna put a lot down because we don't wanna run out in the middle of what we're doing. And we're gonna get some medium yellow in there also. We're gonna get a super tiny drop of brown, just like that. All right, that's close. Another drop of brown, that'll probably do it. All right, there we go. I think we're in good shape. All right, so there's our base coat. Okay, now this is going to be kind of tricky. We're going to do a lot of tones in here, okay? Really subtle changes because there's a lot of colors in this bone in the photo that I'm using. So we're going to come in, we're going to try to mix the same color that we had before. Okay. All right, that's pretty close. Now we're going to come in with some brown, darken it up a little bit. Okay, not quite enough. All right, this might do it. There we go. Okay, maybe just a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to come in, we're just going to break it up. We're going to leave some spots our light color, and then some parts we're going to cover with our new slightly darker color. Right, there's tone number 2. Okay, slightly darker. So now, okay, now we're going to come in for our third tone. We're going to come in here with a bunch of brown with our cafe con leche, which is like a little bit of a burnt red sort of. All right, there we go. Now we've got cafe con leche and brown streaked in on here. We've got it on here. Now we've got 3 tones happening. All right, here comes our 4th tone. We've got our brown. And we're gonna come in with some black to darken it up. Tap a little bit lighter and stroke, and we're gonna just blend it right in. Look at that, man, that is nice. All right. That. All right, look at that, man, that is cruddy. 4 tones. All right, now we're going to start the handle. We're going to start with a base coat of our wrought iron. Okay, it's a dark gray. We're just going to cut in up against the bone piece. There's 1 layer of our wrought iron. All right, now we're going to come in with our medium gray. Some fine lines in there too. We've got the big dry brush strokes. We can come in and we can get some little thinner all right, just like that. See that? We've got 2 tones in there now. We've got our wrought iron, we've got our medium gray. Okay, now we're going to come in with our black on our sponge brush. Black handle, we're just going to let that dry. Okay, now what we did was we ran some of our flexible tape around our bracket. And we're going to come in with our silver. All right, there we go. Both sides are done. We came in with our brown and we hit right along here where we got a couple little pieces of silver. You can't even tell. Nice. All right, let's let that dry. All right, now we're going to come in with our wrought iron. All right, we're going to come in with our wrought iron. And we're going to hit around some of our silver area here. Just broke up our silver, which is exactly what we wanted. Check that out, pretty nice. That's looking pretty darn good all the way around. You saw how easy that was. We came in and we mixed up our 4 different tones to get our bone color done. It's got a nice look to it. And then we came in and we did our handle also with 3 different tones. We coated it in wrought iron. Then we came in with a medium gray and a black and streaked some on and used brushes to get some of the grain to pop out there. Not too bad. Not the best petrified wood in the world, but it'll do. And then we did 2 tones on the handle, our hammered steel handle, black and wrought iron, just to break up the black so it's not pitch black. And sponged on some silver, did a little bit of masking, sponged the silver on. And then we just came in with some wrought iron and broke up the silver a little bit so it's not just perfectly clear silver. And then we came in off camera and we brushed right in here with our wrought iron for our wood handle that you can see here and back here. And that's it, man. That thing turned out pretty darn cool. I like that. That's jamming. All right, so with that last detail, which was sponging on a little bit of wrought iron up here to break up the silver, that brings our Skyrim Dragonbone War Axe build to a close. All right, there you go. Like we said, nice and easy. You saw us build the whole thing. You saw us use the Dremel to create the hammered steel look. You saw us submerge the brass dowel on the inside so that it has stability, and it is pretty darn solid. The build was not hard at all. You saw us take the cool chips out of the blade and stuff, real easy. Then you saw us seal it and paint it, which was not hard. It was a little bit artistic. You saw how we did our usual routine, where besides the solid black here and the solid silver here, we did multiple tones on the handle, dark, medium, and light, to be able to get that look, and then came in with some fine lines to get some of the grain looking stuff there. And then the bone, probably the most difficult of all the painting. That was 4 tones. We had to mix up some stuff, kind of nail it with the mixing part of it. But same stuff, man. Dabbing it on and swiping it, dabbing it and swiping it. And not too bad. Looks almost just like the picture that we used. Pretty stained up looking thing there. But that was it, man. That concludes making an EVA foam Skyrim Dragonbone War Axe. Wow, that's cool. Hope you liked it. If you did, give us a like, share us with a friend, and subscribe to this channel. And together we're going to go step by step through a lot more super cool builds so that you get the props you deserve. Thanks for coming. See you next time.